Hello, and welcome to History Intersects today. Based on recent events, we thought it necessary to talk to you guys about the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm Adam Bonomo.
And I'm Andrew Kuiper. Over the past week or so, police shot and killed Alton Sterling in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Philando Castile in St. Paul, Minnesota, and Delron Small in New York City. These are some of the most recent publicized police killings of black folk in America. They add to an already too long list of deaths.
This spate of murders has sparked a rejuvenated wave of protests across the country from Baton Rouge, Dallas, Ohio, and Oakland. The energy of this protest has reached all the way to London, England.
Black Lives Matter was founded in 2012 by three women of color, Alicia Garza, Opal Tometi, and Patrisse Cullors. They formed the movement in response to the murder of Trayvon Martin and his killer's acquittal. The movement has since exploded, giving people agency to push back against the anti-black racism that permeates our country.
Some see Black Lives Matter as a movement of exclusion, and they answer the shouts of black validation with cries of all lives matter. The Black Lives Matter movement is one of focus, not exclusion. It is not, nor has it ever been, an attack on whiteness or white people. Rather, it is a movement that resists the system that grant white privilege at the detriment of all other people. White people are not to blame, unless they are perpetrators of or complicit in the violence against black bodies.
All Lives Matter is a flawed analysis because it assumes that all lives are equally at risk in our society. They are not. Black bodies, families, individuals, and communities are disproportionately impacted by the structural racism in the United States. All Lives Matter is a claim void of racial awareness that ignores the lived experiences of people of color.
The police have been treating black people like this forever. The only difference now is camera phones. The movement shines a spotlight and sparks a conversation on the different kinds of state violence that leave black people powerless in this country's system of white supremacy.
The state violence take forms of police brutality and murder, racial profiling, black poverty and economic disenfranchisement, mass incarceration, racial inequality, and the oppression of black, queer, and trans folk.
But the intersections of this movement are revolutionary in a number of other ways. Black Lives Matter resists the inequities of capitalism, the male-centered hierarchies of heteronormative culture, and homophobia. It fights for restorative justice and against misogyny and patriarchy.
Black Lives Matter is a black liberation movement that takes inspiration from the African American civil rights movement, the Black Power and Black feminist movements, Pan-Africanism, LGBTQ movements, and Occupy Wall Street.
It is a movement born on the internet but lives in protests and direct action. In August of 2014, the Black Lives Matter organized a Freedom Ride that brought 500 people to Ferguson, Missouri to support the community in seeking justice for Mike Brown. They have to shut down the rapid transit system in Oakland during Black Friday and descended upon the Mall of America during the holiday shopping. The hashtag Black Lives Matter was named 2014's Word of the Year by the American Dialect Society.
2015 saw massive demonstrations and unrest in the city of Baltimore after the death of Freddie Gray at the hands of police. Protesters and marches sprang up across the United States, and racial tensions between protesters and white supremacists sparked violence in South Carolina and Minneapolis. Black Lives Matter is by nature a decentralized organization, making it difficult to track every demonstration that has fallen under its umbrella. Know that there have been countless marches, protests, and actions in nearly every major city in this country.
Organizers with the movement have challenged presidential candidates on the campaign trail. They have demanded space to speak in front of people of power, and they put elected officials on task for their inaction on state violence. Black Lives Matter is not just about the lives of black people, but also the quality of those lives.
It is of the utmost importance that white folk like ourselves stand in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter movement. We have an obligation to use our platform and our privilege to bring these conversations into our communities. White silence is violence. We stand with the people of color in their fight for liberation. No one is free until we are all free.